Hey, Kingdom Hearts fans, my name is Unlike Mike, but if you'd like, you can just call me Mike. And if you haven't heard yet, Nomura has made this post in honor of Birth by Sleep's 15th anniversary, and it's kind of a big deal. Normally, I don't cover news for Kingdom Hearts. It's just something I don't really want to do. A lot of people do it. I don't really find an interest in the news per se, but I have a few things that I wanted to talk about and say a few things about this passage. Firstly, before I get into what's in this passage, I wanted to address that it's actually a big deal that Nomura's teasing Kingdom Hearts 4 at the end of this, simply because it tells me that we're going to get more Kingdom Hearts 4 news relatively soon. The date in particular that I'm talking about would be December 22nd, which would be of this year, which would be Kingdom Hearts 2's 20th anniversary, which is a huge deal because they know how popular Kingdom Hearts 2 is. So the fact that they've already teasing it now makes me believe that that date would be the next time we would hear some sort of news about KH4. So mark that date on your calendar. I know I'll be looking at that date fairly closely. Also, the other date to keep in mind would be March 28th, which is Kingdom Hearts 1's release date. It wouldn't be anything special like its 25th anniversary or like a 30th anniversary. It would be its 23rd anniversary. But particularly what I like about that date is it's the end of March, which is typically the end of winter in the West and Japan. Usually winter's wrapping itself up all over those places, which is a good sign for missing link news. And I've always been on 2025's March, like month of March or month of April, as like an indicator of when we would be either releasing that game or getting news about that game. I never really thought that it would be showcased in any of these award ceremonies or other video game events. I've always been keen on this March date. So I just wanted to let you guys know, keep those two dates in mind. Like I said, mark them on the calendar. I know I will be. And if you don't hear anything about Missing Link by the end of March, we we might have to consider the game dead. But anyways, moving on to what was said in this Nomura report. It's been 15 years since the release of Birth by Sleep. So I've been asked to give you a secret anecdote about how the game itself was born. I've already revealed quite a lot, so I had to think about what would be best. Apparently, the plan is to release my comment alongside the teaser trailer for Birth by Sleep from the secret movie in Kingdom Hearts 2. So, taking my cue from that video, I'd like to give you an insight into the crossroads. So, I find this particularly very interesting that they would use the teaser trailer from Kingdom Hearts 2 to celebrate this 15th anniversary of Birth by Sleep, and not like maybe its opening scene or even Aqua distributing the Wayfinders as its I don't know, celebration. It's particularly interesting to me because what is in that teaser trailer is not what we got in Birth by Sleep. And I know a few people are on the same wavelength as I am, and that is, and I've talked about it on this channel before, and that is that scene has yet to happen. I know some people believe, it's just more of a it's more supposed to be a conceptual scene that was created, but I don't know, just myself and some other people do believe that perhaps this is a scene yet to happen. And part of my reasoning for believing this is if you take a look at their mannerisms in the teaser trailer, it's very different from what we got in Birth by Sleep. In Birth by Sleep, it's very dreary. The emotion is very down. But in the teaser trailer, they kind of walk with a lot of swagger to them. Like their heads are high. They seem more confident. Also, the monster that Terra was standing on top of obviously doesn't appear. But this sort of swagger that they have to them, I made the connection to the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 when Terra, Aqua, and Ven kind of go off. They're in their armor and they kind of have the same swagger that they had in the teaser trailer. So I made the connection that possibly where they leave off in Kingdom Hearts 3 will eventually lead to what this original teaser trailer was showing us. Like I said, I've talked about this before. I'll throw up the thumbnail of the video that I made on it. It's about all the Kingdom Hearts secret endings and a kind of like a connection or conspiracy that I had came up with. So if you want to hear more about that, feel free to go ahead and check that out if you'd like. But back to the passage. In this video, 3 Keyblade wielders clad in armor wait for someone at a crossroads. Meeting someone at a crossroads is actually a recurring motif in the Kingdom Hearts series. At the beginning of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Sora meets someone in a black coat and is invited to Castle Oblivion. During the climax of Birth by Sleep, the 3 protagonists wait at a crossroads for 2 Keyblade wielders. Just to pause for a moment again, this is where where he mentions the 3 protagonists waiting at a crossroads to meet the 2 other Keyblade wielders. That's the actual scene. That's like what actually happens in Birth by Sleep and not the teaser trailer. I just wanted to kind of reemphasize that. Linked to them by fate. It is where the opposing unions come together and the Keyblade War breaks out in the Kingdom Hearts Key series. Those who wish to become the new leader of the unions in place of the Master gather here in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. And in Kingdom Hearts 3, the ancient foretellers known as the Lost Masters gather at these crossroads. It's so cool that I never registered this sort of motif before. Like I understood like the crossroads were used a lot. Like it was always, I guess, maybe in the back of my head, but I never really gave them much significance. So it's pretty cool that that Nomura is kind of talking about this like in this manner. As you can see, whenever there's something going on, crossroads acts as an important point of divergence. To trace it right back, the motif was inspired by the well-known crossroads myth from American folklore. The story goes like this: a young man makes a deal with the devil at a crossroads, trading his soul for the ability to play the guitar. I think this is referring to like a blues or a jazz musician. I can't really remember. But very interesting to talk about like the devil and the crossroads, and it really makes you think about the Master of Masters, and in particular the Master being the devil in the crossroads. So this really got me thinking about the Master of Masters' true name, and it's something that I never really put a lot of thought into, I'll be honest. I don't know, I just never thought that I could come up with I don't know. I just couldn't come up with anything for his name before until probably now that I've given it some thoughts. And I'm sure somebody has already said what I'm about to say. But if I think about the Master of Masters as the devil in the crossroads, it really makes me think that his name is going to be tied to something like Lucifer. Just because if we look at his symbol, it features both an angelic and a demon wing, which has, Luciferian significance, is like Lucifer is like the fallen angel. But I don't think that his name will particularly be Lucifer. One, because Western audiences, I don't think Nomura just wants the backlash from Western audiences. And Lucifer is already the name of the cat in Cinderella. But Lucifer is also referred to as the Morning Star, which is similar to Donald's weapon's name, but I don't think that's particularly going to be the name. But I do believe that maybe that could be important. The other name would be Lightbringer. Lucifer means Lightbringer, which I think holds some weight to kind of like how the Master of Master acts, and he really does seem like he's on the side of light. He's trying to get rid of darkness for good. So Lightbringer, I'm making a little prediction. I'm gonna say Lightbringer might be his last name. His first name, I'm also gonna take a guess at it being Venus, particularly because Lucifer, is the morning star, but Venus is also the morning star. It's called the morning star because it's the brightest star in the sky when the sun is rising. It's also the evening star because it's the brightest star in the sky when the sun is setting. So my guess right now is that his name will end up being something along the lines of Venus Lightbringer, and there is some connections that could be made to like just how the Master is always talking about like the dustless dawn or whatever and all that, like just the sun rising and falling. Venus or the morning star would be the first thing that you would see at the sunrise and sunset, and all these other little symbolisms of Lucifer. But I'm gonna go a little bit beyond his name. I'm going to also theorize that with the name Venus Lightbringer, that the Master of Masters is not human, which I think most people kind of agree with, that he's probably a being of light, so, something totally opposite to a being of the entity of darkness. And Lucifer kind of fits that too. Like maybe he's the Master of Masters was cast out similar to Lucifer, like he is a entity of light but was casted out. I do agree with that as being a possibility, but I'm also going to throw in that he could be a literal planet. Um, and the Master of Masters, that the figure that we see in the black cloak, is just the avatar for the planet that he is. Only reason why I kind of thought of that was just because the name Venus, obviously, it's a planet, but also when thinking about it, when he's talking about that he's gonna dim, fade, disappear, whatever, he can't really describe it. It's kind of similar to what planets and stars just do, right? They dim, they fade, they disappear. So that's kind of where my head is at currently right now, with as far as like the Master of Masters origin. Just because, and especially too, because he's been around for like a long time, right? That's what it appears to be. And planets probably have a much longer lifetime than characters in this series. So technically, he could have been there in the beginning of time too. Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, I think Ansem Seeker of Darkness even said it, like everything began in darkness. So maybe he's just been one of those original planets, and maybe the previous allies that he's lost in the past were just other planets. Maybe he existed in a time where planets were all there were, and there were no humans at all, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just kind of like spitballing. I know this kind of like probably a bit wild theory, but this kind of what's circling through my head at the moment reading this. Moving back on to the passage. The first time a crossroad appears in Kingdom Hearts is in Chain of Memories, which is about losing something to gain something. And in fact, all subsequent appearances of Crossroads have the same significance. The greatest example is Birth by Sleep, a story where all three protagonists pay a heavy price to obtain something. But wait, when the Lost Masters gather at the Crossroads in Kingdom Hearts 3, what is gained and what is lost? That's a story for another time. And I don't know about you guys, that line just is getting me super excited for what's to come, and it's so awesome because it's getting me to think about something that I would have never really thought about before. And it's cool because it's just a clue. Anytime we can get any sort of little clue to the lore, I'm completely immersed. But I really want to know what you guys think that the Lost Masters are gaining and losing in that epilogue scene. Let me know in the comments. Right now, my head is gathering towards, I don't know, like what they gain is they're now in the future again. So they've come back, but maybe what they've lost is Ava, I guess, because Ava's not there. So maybe they lost a friend. And I'm also thinking that maybe what they're going to gain is the Master of Masters back, but what they're going to lose is their humanity, I guess, to say like that might be the moment where Luxu being a traitor comes into play, and this is where they get stuck with having a darkness entity put inside of them, or even they could be losing the darkness that's inside of them, and that's what makes Luxu the traitor, is that maybe he's going to remove the dark entities from all of those characters. It can also be them losing their reality, and they're going to end up in Quadratum with Sora. I mean, the chess game at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of signifies that they have to be involved into the story of Quadratum at some point. But I'm not too sure. That's kind of where my head is gravitating towards right now, as far as what was gained and lost. Like I said, please let me know what you guys think in the comments. And before I leave, feel free to like the video. It really does help my channel out a lot. It helps with the growth of this channel. And I invite you to subscribe if you want to hear more Kingdom Hearts discussions and theories. Feel free to go back and watch my previous theories that I've had on this channel. And most importantly, have yourselves a great day. Peace.